Developed by ASCIIsoft, Katana Zero focuses on fast-paced encounters and instant death as you take the role of a samurai assassin in a neon-lit city. Tight controls, varied environments, and an intriguing story carry you through its bloody tale. Katana Zero takes place in a dark and depressing world where you play as a mysterious hitman referred to as the Dragon. While most of the game revolves around executing various hits for your clients, it also takes time to explore the characters and the world around you. Between missions, you socialize with various citizens like your shrink and a young girl who lives in your apartment building. When speaking with them, you can choose from several dialogue options to go about conversations as you wish. You can also completely ignore these options by selecting a default dialogue line to get through conversations quickly. However, this is where most of the plot is explored, with bits and pieces being revealed as you progress further into the game. Thankfully, the story is engaging enough to be worth listening to everything these characters have to say. Katana Zero is a side-scrolling action platformer in which death is dealt in a single blow, similar to games like Hotline Miami. Each level is divided up by screens where you need to eliminate every enemy to progress to the next part of the level, but if you die in the process, you'll need to restart. While death and repetition are a huge part of the game, it never feels tedious to replay parts since respawns are fast, and each section of a level is usually pretty short. Katana Zero has an interesting twist in how it presents its gameplay, as what you do is just a visualization of how the dragon plans his attacks, and death is merely the dragon determining that a plan won't work. This makes each room feel a bit like a puzzle, and when you solve it, you then see a replay of your actions as the dragon actually performs them. There are often multiple ways to tackle a situation. Sometimes you can break the floor to appear behind unsuspecting enemies, or you can toss a smoke grenade to help you deal with multiple foes. Deciding when to use an item or which enemy to take out first is key, as a single adjustment can make all the difference. The dragon has access to several tools and abilities to help you carve through foes. Your main attack is your katana, which can slash through enemies in a flash. A dodge roll can be used to avoid attacks and get behind enemies, and there are objects that can be picked up and thrown like glass bottles or C4. Plus, you can briefly slow time to hit bullets back at enemies or better position yourself in an encounter. Thugs and police officers are enjoyable to fight, but the game could use a bit more variation as you encounter the same 4 or 5 enemy types over and over. There are also a few boss fights sprinkled in near the later parts of the game. They're really fun to battle against, but it's disappointing that they're so infrequent. Each level is distinct with unique themes. Many of them also have a few different ideas or mechanics that help them stand out. The nightclub, for instance, starts on the dance floor as you attempt to blend in with the crowd to avoid security, while the movie studio has an elevator you use to bounce between various sets as you collect keycards. The game's presentation shouldn't be overlooked. The pixel art evokes a retro style, but it goes beyond a simple homage to games of old, thanks to the amount of detail found in its environments and character animations. The captivating synthwave soundtrack composed by Ludowick and Bill Kiley also lends itself wonderfully to the game's neo-noir setting and dark tone. There's an impressive number of options you can tweak to fit your liking. For example, being able to adjust the hit pause %, response time, or the text speed. Thankfully, you can also reduce the screen shake too, as it can be a bit much on the default setting. Katana Zero is a great action platformer with tight and precise combat that makes you think through every move you make. The way it frames its gameplay is interesting, with an engaging story and flashy visuals. Though it could use some more variety, Katana Zero is an enjoyable venture into this dark world. Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to see our other videos, and consider becoming a patron to help us make more.